Okay. About to go. Let me inject the hook code. Actually, I'm probably going to say some stuff. No, I'll just inject the hook code. Oh. Okay. Having some trouble here. What? What is going on? Oh, okay. What's going on, Textractor? Okay. So this is... Hold on. Man, I'm behind. Why is my computer struggling with this so much? You get to see in real time my computer just do nonsensical things. At least my Textractor window is not like on top of like private stuff on my computer. Okay. Yu says, "Do you want to do it?" I stand up and start looking. I forgot what game they're playing. You looked a little happy. The time limit is 3 minutes. I nodded and started searching. Now, where is it? Okay, I can't read these kanji. The top one, this is something to do with person and mouth. Mouth usually means like an entryway or doorway in context. I'll try the second one just cuz. I take a closer look around the emergency stairs. Something is tied to the railing. I feel like save scumming this. Because I think it's fair because I can't read it. This is do it. No, it clearly looks like a treasure. No, it does. Can't be ignored. Oh, so it doesn't let you ignore it, okay. I untie the string that is tied to it. Why does it even give you a choice is an illusion, apparently? It's like a talisman. Well, a good thing I saved in case choice wasn't an illusion, because that would have been the wrong choice. It just doesn't let me make it. Then I return to Mew with it in hand. Is this it? While saying that, I tried to open the amulet. Oh, don't open it! Why, it's fine, right? I shook off Mew's restraint and opened it. Gee, man. A tattered piece of paper that had turned brown came out from inside. The paper is folded into small pieces. I'll try opening it. Even if the world becomes my enemy, I will protect Mew. Signed, Renmaru. It was written in... Is boring the right word here? It was written in clumsy handwriting. A strong heartbeat presses against my chest. Something hot burned my face.
夕焼け、すごいね。
Sunset is amazing. Sweat dampened my forehead.
それ、嬉しかったんだよ。
That made me happy. I
で
see.
も、レイマルはひどいやつだったね。
But Renmaru was a terrible person. The story of Mew disappearing was sudden.
レイマル、
Renmaru. What do you mean the story of her is saying? Let's go on. The news that Mew could be leaving came as a sudden shock. Okay. Renmaru, I turned toward the voice.
転校することになった。
I decided to transfer schools. I started kicking the ball
レイマ
again.
ル、聞いてるの？
Renmaru, are you listening? I'm listening.
なんで？寂しくないの？いなくなっちゃうんだよ。
Why, aren't you lonely? You're going to disappear, right?
あと何日かしたらいなくなっちゃうんだよ。
You'll be gone in a few days, right? I stopped kicking the ball. Or I'll be gone. Wait a second. Well, let me redo. Let me see if Real Google Translate says something different there. Aren't you going to be lonely? I'm going to be gone, you know. Yeah, that would make sense. I'm going to be gone in a few days, right? I stopped kicking the ball. I'm not really interested in that. Actually, I'm not that interested in Mew, is what he said.
なんで最後にそんなこと言われなきゃならないのよ。
Why? Why do you have to say that at the end? Interesting thing to say. When she was in the 4th year of elementary school, Mew suddenly had to move.
でもレンマル、引っ越し当日にトラックの前に飛び出して私を連れ出したの覚えてる？
But Renmaru, do you remember when you jumped in front of the truck and took me out? What does that mean? But Renmaru, do you remember when you jumped in front of the moving truck on the day we were moving and dragged me out? Something like that? I thought you were going to die at that time. It was kind of cool, wasn't
なん
it?
か昔のドラマみたいでびっくりした。こんなことするやつほんといるんだって。
It was like an old drama, so I was surprised. There really are people who would do something like this. I scratched the tip of my nose. A church near elementary school. It was a time when we were on a small hill, surrounded by a deep forest and a cool breeze wrapped around our bodies. You never talked about moving.
それよりレンマルと遊びたかったんだろうね、私。あの時の私、可愛かったな、きっと。
I guess I wanted to play with Rimaru more than anything. I must have been cute back then. Don't say it yourself.
レンマルだって引っ越しのことを話題にできなかったくせに。
Even Rimaru couldn't talk about moving. You were like a ghost, practically invisible.
それはいいこと？
Is that a good thing? It means someone whose presence is taken for granted. So figure it out yourself. Okay? Even now, even in the past, Mew is by my side, and that seems like a normal
レ
thing.
ンマル、なかなか何考えてるかわからないから。
Rimaru, I don't know what you're thinking. You were someone who couldn't read the atmosphere. Or you were always someone who couldn't read the room. Mew
でも
chuckles.
大丈夫だもん。直接感じることができるから。
Well, it's okay, because I can feel it directly.
反則だけど。
It's a foul. Right, it's kind of invasive. It's against the rules, but saying that Mew touches my skin. I got it. Mew ran to the place where I hid the treasure. After a while, Mew brought what I had hidden. One letter. Even if the world becomes my enemy, I will protect Mew, Renmaru. Eventually the sun set. We were sitting close together on the roof of the church, watching the sunset. In the distance, Mew's parents appear at the church gate. Don't come near me. They don't come near me. They're watching Mew and me from afar.
そろそろ行かなくちゃ。
It's about time, or in a bit. Soon I have to go.
あの夕日が沈んだら行くね。
I'll go when the sun sets. Yeah.
私のこと忘れないでね。
Don't forget about me.
忘れないでね。
Don't forget.
手紙ありがとう。
Thank you for the letter. Silence. The setting sun. Eventually it disappeared into a forest of
それ
buildings.
じゃあまた。
Well then, see you later. See you later or again or whatever. That's all I could say. When Mew reached her parents, they led her by the hand and left. Mew turned around and kept looking at me. I couldn't do anything and just stood there. At that time, Mew shook her parents' hand with all her strength. She ran to me. She jumped into my
忘れないで
chest.
ね。忘れないでね。
Don't forget, don't forget. So shook off her parents' hand, right? Mew buried her face in my chest and sobbed. I was still in 4th grade. I didn't even know how to turn my arms. I didn't even know how to swing my arms. Okay. I wonder how I can comfort her. I take out the bell from my pocket. This is something I received from a priest some time ago. Wonder what kind of priest. If you need anything, call me. Mew nods while holding back tears. She grips the bell tightly and runs off. Eventually, the figure disappears at the end of the... I guess like the lead-in way. Eventually, the figure disappears at the end of the approach to the shrine beyond the stone steps. Is this a Shinja? So I don't see the word Jinja in this sentence, especially when you Romanize it. So I think what happened is it's like an entranceway, or it's a path that's used to approach something, and Google Translate is telling me disappear at the end of the approach to the shrine just because that's the thing you would approach. Like this, but it's actually a Christian church apparently, or it could be Catholic or something. We don't know. Well, that is Christian actually. I'm not going to say Catholics aren't Christian. That's weird. My brain's dead. I really did. I did that by accident. That's like an old child version of me that didn't know any better. They use the same word for it. Like there's like an approach to it, and like Google Translate doesn't realize they did that because it doesn't really know the context. Anyway. It was pitch dark around there. I howled into the darkness. I'll never forget you. Well, you have a bell. Is that going to be another bingo card thing? I heard the sound of a bell coming from somewhere. I returned the amulet to Mew. Thank you. Mew looked a little embarrassed. Yeah, why would she not want you to open it if, like... Well, I guess she wouldn't want to know she kept it. It's not like you would have delivered it in the amulet, like, already, so you knew what was in there. But you may not have known what was in there because you may not have seen it in that specific amulet. Okay. The sun is setting further down than before. There were no crows crowing or the smell of dinner. Renmaru, look. I follow Mew's fingertips. Far below, a shadow smaller than a sesame seed is moving. A person? Mew stood up as if she had been bounced and started running. She poinged. Hey, wait, Mew. I followed Mew. When I got off the extremely long elevator, I was engulfed in pitch black darkness. In dark darkness. We met up with Mina and headed outside. The sky is full of stars. In front of the tower is a spacious main street with 3 lanes on each side. I look around. The sesame seed-like shadow from earlier, that must be a person. Renmaru! Mew seems to have noticed something and points across the street. A quick glance, there were a group of 40 to 50 people. No, there might have been more. They were clutching what appeared to be weapons in their hands. Metal bats, square timbers, iron pipes, bicycle chains, frying pans. No matter how you look at them, they don't seem to be friendly or gentlemanly people. Well, they just came out with a game called A Gentleman's Dispute, right? Where gentlemen do barbaric things to each other as like a battle royale sort of thing. It's like, doesn't look gentlemanly. Well, according to modern game culture, that is gentlemanly. I timidly decide to approach it. The group is also slowly approaching us. Or approach them. Ku. In order to protect Mew and Mina, I walked a step behind them. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Let me see what Google Translate says. To protect Mew and Mina, I had them walk a step behind me and approach the area. Then one person from the group stepped forward and took the lead. It was a girl. She is wearing a high school uniform. If I remember correctly, this uniform belongs to Kyumekin Joshi, so a different high school than, what's it called? Rebrock. While I was thinking this, the girl stood in front of me and gave me a command.
Sentai! Tomare! Peep! Peep!
Sentai, stop, peep, peep. At the girl's command, the group stopped all at once. It wasn't like they were marching, but the moment they stopped, they somehow seemed to be breathing in perfect sync.
いつ来たの?
Oh, okay. There might be a boy with the same uniform we introduced a little bit later. This is was in the opening cutscene, right? This character. And she was paired with a boy. When did you come? So I wonder how you pronounce this name, because the text tractor is just translating it. Like, the meaning. So I don't know how to say her name. When did you come?
いつって...
When? Said Mew behind me as if she was confused by the girl's question. Then a boy took a step forward from the group and responded to Mew's question.
隊長はいつこの世界に来たのかって聞いてるんですよ。
The captain is asking, when did you come to this world? So there's the boy. He added the words in an easy to understand way as if to supplement the girl's words. Mew understood the boy's explanation and immediately answered the question.
今日の昼過ぎだったかな?
I think it was around noon today. After hearing Mew's answer, the boy playfully whispers in her ear, I think. The girl nodded and said, What is your name?
私はミュウ。こっちはレンマル。あなたは?
I am Mew. This is Renmaru. You?
ユユ。は 星野ゆゆ。よろしくね。
Oh, it's pronounced Yuyu. Okay, it tells me that. Okay, good. Yuyu. Hoshino Yuyu. Nice to meet you. Yuyu gave a refreshing
よ
smile.
ろぺこりシャス。
I guess that's kind of like Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Hey, wait a minute.
まだない。
No, wait. Eh?
急いでるの。何か聞きたいことがあるなら歩きながらで。
I'm in a hurry. If you want to ask me something, do so while I'm walking. With that, Yuyu abruptly stops the conversation and gave an order to group again.
全体進め。ピッピ。
Zentai, go on. P. So we're not looking for the Zentai clan. Are we looking for a different clan? Somehow it was slow, and it was a slow and loose command. Still, no one disobeys that command. Using her shout as a signal, the group began moving slowly like a
な
river.
んだろうあの集団。
I wonder what that group is. I can't seem to get a hold of them. I'll try to force them to talk. Try to force them to talk to. Huh. They're a difficult bunch to figure out. I'll try striking up a conversation with them anyway. Talk about Mew. Talk to Yuyu. Then talk to the boy. Try to talk to Yuyu. She's the person in charge. She's the one you want to talk to. Hey Yuyu, you were called captain earlier, right?
いきなりゆゆって呼び捨てかよ。
Are you suddenly gonna call me Yuyu? Too bad. I was born with a disease. It makes it impossible to say things like son, etc. I'm sorry, but I have a condition that prevents me from using honorifics like San or Chan. It's something I've had since birth. Yes, I'm a visual novel protag. I always refer to other people as oh my. Or amai, one or the other. Refer to myself as are, and never use San. It's not really a,
まあいいけど。で、なんだっけ？
Well, that's fine. So what is it? You were called captain, right?
うん。だって隊長だから。
Yeah, because he's the captain. I think why that is has something to do. It's similar to like how they think the person you're playing as has to be a total loser, because like you're trying to escape to a world where you can accomplish the things the protag does despite being a loser. Right? It's kind of the world seems to work out for you to deliver you the woman even though you're a loser. Part of that is even though you like don't care to talk properly, like it doesn't matter, you don't need to. You can still win anyway. It's part of what they're going for. As me as a Western reader, I don't know if the Eastern readers have this problem too. To me it kind of bothers me because I don't want to escape into something where I get what I need done. I get what I want anyway, despite being a loser. I want to escape to somewhere where I'm not a loser. I don't want to just eat the cake. I want to have the cake and then eat it. It's like backwards. It's like the worst would be if you had your cake and didn't get to eat it. Like if you were not a loser and then everything sucks for you, that would be a terrible. That's a terrible plot. Well, I don't know. It might be considered artistic, but it's not fun to read. Anyway, yeah, because because I'm the captain. What is the name of the organization?
Mirage.
Mirage. Oh, there we go. So it's not. It's not Zentai, it's Mirage. Zentai is something else. I took out a letter from my pocket and handed it to her playfully. Oh no, it's not I handed it to her playfully. I handed it to Yuyu. Remember, her name is Playful.
何これ
What is this? Yeah, the Chimera Club is run by those guys.
シンクロから
But it's the guy the guy who runs the Chimera Club, right? Yeah, from the organizer of the Chimera Club. From Shinkuro? What I handed out was a letter that I had received from Shinkuro. Yuyu took it, unfolded the letter, and tore it up after reading it.
条件を飲まない限り停戦には合意できない。そう伝えといて。
Tell them we cannot agree to a ceasefire unless they accept our conditions. Conditions? Ceasefire? Mew didn't... It's like they're playing war. Mew didn't understand much of what was being said, but she didn't question it and continued talking.
条件って
What are the conditions? Yeah, it's like they have guns and stuff.
言えばわかるから。
If I say it, you'll understand. You and I looked at each other. The group passed us.
この人たちよくわかんないけど、行ってみようよ、レンマル。
Huh? They'll understand if you explain it to them. Oh, okay. So she's saying, like, I'm not gonna... Just tell them that, okay? I don't really understand these people, but let's go, Renmaru. Yeah, they seem kind of interesting. It looks interesting. They look interesting, or rather, I'm interested. That's how I feel.
はじめまして。僕はタンゴと言います。あなたは
Nice to meet you. My name is Tongo. How about you? The boy from earlier called out to me. I'm Renmaru. So these two are Mew and Mina.
よろしく。
Nice to meet
こん
you.
ばんは。
Good evening.
いい仲間ですよ、みんな。3人ともミラージュの仲間になっていただけるなら大歓迎です。
We're good friends, everyone. If all three of you can join Mirage, you'd be very welcome. Good friends. It gets caught, whatever that means. Is it really a good idea? Like, to join their stuff, right? Yuyu just said ceasefire. But are Mirage and the Chimera Club fighting? I wonder if there is some conflicting... I wonder if there is a reason for a conflict to arise. We followed Mirage to the station. Maybe the subway after all. So the subway is affected too.
何の話ですか？
What are you talking about? I thought the train wasn't running.
それは昼間も確かめたじゃないですか。
Didn't you confirm that during the day as well? Yes, but
何か言いたそうですね。
it looks like you wanted to say something. I understand what Mina was talking about. That, my oven's beeping. I understand what Mina was saying about the unpredictable factors. Even trains are operated by humans, after all. Okay, I gotta deal with it. Okay, dealt with it. For 10 minutes, at least. At least, it's exactly 10 minutes. Why do I use extra words? I understand what Mina was saying about the unpredictable factors. Even trains are operated by humans, after all. Their movements are unpredictable. That's why they dissolve into the world like mist. Isn't that what it is?
だけど、日本の電車は世界一時刻表に正確だって言いますよね。
But they say Japanese trains have the most accurate timetables in the world.
けれどその正確さもコンマ数秒単位ではありませんから、ほんの 0.1 秒誤差が生じただけで電車の位置は予測不可能となるのではないでしょうか。
However, the accuracy is not within a few tenths of a second. Even if there is an error of only 0.1 seconds, the train's position may become unpredictable. Or uncertain, or whatever. If you're talking about it, the same could be said about the movement of air. Yeah, like, and wouldn't that put you in a vacuum of some, by your weird rules where you don't collapse your air? If that's the case, the movement of air would be the same. Who can accurately predict the movement of molecules and make up this air? I had some inexplicable feelings. Something feels different. Something... Is the twist of this... So I haven't really done much about guessing the twist since, like, part 2 or so, because it's not really giving me really much new information. But it's like, the basis of the twist of this game, like, on the bad sci-fi. Like, there's this terrible sci-fi explanation for things. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like, really, Mina? Like, if you can't see any people because they're all in this big quantum superposition, as Rinmaru already said, why doesn't that collapse as soon as Rinmaru and his consciousness measures it? How does that remain in superposition when nothing before this time stop phenomenon would ever remain in superposition if a person observed it? Secondly, why isn't the air in superposition, and why wouldn't that make the air disappear, making it so that you're in a vacuum? Like, that wouldn't even make any sense. Like, even if the air was like superpositioned over, the mass of it would be certain. Like, there'd be certain aspects that you know, like how much there is. So maybe that might contribute to some things, but your lungs is like measuring the air all the time. It doesn't make none of this makes any sense. So it could be like the twist is that this is all bad, that this acknowledges it's all bad sci-fi, and so this is just not the explanation at the end. The explanation is something different. It's also just absurd in general. Something feels off. Something like Mina's entire like set of hypotheses, which are similar in wording to what that leader of that organization, Shinmura, like the Shinmura Club's leaders, what he said. Right, it kind of sounds similar, but maybe like we're interpreting what Shinmura said, the leader of the Shinmura Club said, a little bit wrong because we're predisposed to think about it a certain way. We'll see. Something feels off. Something... One by one, the group jumped onto the tracks. It seems like... It seems it's as if they're falling apart and scattering. Why on the railroad tracks? I muttered casually. Then, unexpectedly, the answer came
近
back.
道なんですよ、本丸への。
It's a shortcut to Honmaru. Huh?
地下鉄の線路の上、一生に一度歩けるかどうかの場所ですよ。
It's a once-in-a-lifetime walk on the subway tracks. A once-in-a-lifetime? It's a place you might only get to walk on once in your lifetime, right about the subway tracks. The world is interesting in a way. What do you think, Mew? Huh? I looked around. Mew left me and was already landing on the railroad tracks. I was walking about halfway through the line while talking to some Mirage member. She was walking about halfway through the line while talking to some Mirage members. And soon the two figures disappeared into the depths of the hollowed-out tunnel.
僕らも行きませんか？ 歩きながら話しましょう。
Would you like to go too? Let's talk while walking. With that, Tongo jumped off the platform. I followed suit. As I was walking along the tracks and talking with Tongo, I joined up with Yuyu, right? I met up with Yuyu. Her name's gonna be so much of a problem with these machine translations. Hey Tongo, what are you guys doing in this world? Forming a clique and fighting something like the Shimura Club.
僕らはここでどうやって楽しく暮らすかに一生懸命なんです。
We are working hard to find a way to live happily here. Man, Tongo is acting like Yuyu's false prophet. Or Aaron. One or the other. Why did you come to this world? Well, I don't know if they knew.
わからないです。
I don't
気づ
know.
いたらこんなところにいました。
I don't know. When I woke up, I was in a place like this. What about the others?
原因なんてわからない。ある時突然ここにいた。
I don't know the reason. One day, I was here all of a sudden. I see. Everyone is just like us. So when did everyone come?
私は長いよ。もう忘れちゃった。
It's been a long time. I've already forgotten.
僕も結構長いです。最近だとあそこにいる彼は4日くらい前で、その隣の彼女
It's been quite a long time for me too. Lately, the guy over there has been there for about 4 days, and the girl next to him has been here for 2 days. It seems like everyone came to this world at different times. I've been here for quite a while too. Recently, that guy over there arrived about 4 days ago. The girl next to him arrived 2 days ago. It seems like everyone arrived in this world at different times. I see. So what exactly is this world?
さあ、一つ言えるのは僕ら以外の人たちはほとんどいなくて、自由に動き回れる世界ってことでしょうかね。
Now, one thing I can say is that there are almost no people besides us, and we can move around freely. Yeah, but the more people you discover, the less empty it seems. Like, when eventually, like, it starts repopulating, because, like, people will trickle in little by little. Isn't there anything inconvenient?
もちろん不便なことはいくつかありますけど、例えば地下鉄が走っていないとか。
Well, of course, there are some inconveniences. For example, the subway isn't running.
でも時間に追われているわけでもないし、こうしてゆっくり歩くのも悪くないですよ。
But I'm not pressed for time, so it's not bad to walk slowly like this. What about Yuyu?
私は別に。逆にレンマルは不便なこととかある？
I don't really care. On the other hand, what about Renmaru? Are there any inconveniences? Inconvenience. When you say that, I can't think of anything. I felt like I was camping somewhere in the mountains with my friends. There were hardly any people around, so I walked around the campsite looking for friends. There were hardly any people around, so I walked around the campsite looking for my companions. It might be fun for a while. As I did so, I arrived at the next station. Yeah, eventually you get problems with resources, right? And your lifestyle may eventually have to revert to like that of agricultural man. Okay, down with that. Suddenly, I noticed graffiti written on the wall of the platform. Oh, is he gonna notice what the person Narumi wrote? Yeah, okay. Graffiti on the wall. There's no EA or anything, or Uchi here, so I don't know what it's referring to by home. Graffiti on the wall of the platform. This is written in bright red paint. Chimera Club's the oracle delivered by the head of the Chimera Club. Next, immediately to the left is... By the way, when you read Japanese that's written vertically, it goes left, it goes right to left. So it's like this. That's why it says next to the left. So this is the oracle. Well, you should be able to tell by the way that text is being extracted, but that was the oracle delivered by the head of the Chimera Club. And then this line is the time will soon be destroyed. This is people walking to the future. Those who walk towards the future. We are the ones who will be left behind. Or it could be they are the ones who will be left behind.
あの目障りな落書き消せって言ったでしょ。
I told you to erase that obtrusive graffiti. Yuyu saw the graffiti and yelled at
すみ
Tango.
ません。早々に手配します。
Excuse me, I'll make arrangements soon. Or sorry, I'll make arrangements soon. What does that mean? Are they sending a message to someone?
あれは私たちを洗脳するためよ。レンマル、騙されちゃダメだからね。
That's to brainwash us. Renmaru, you can't be fooled, okay? Okay, that's correct. With that, Yuyu went to the front of the line, twitching.
気にしないでください。隊長、志村クラブに相当な恨みがあるから。
Don't worry about it. The captain has a considerable grudge against the Chimera Club. Tongo also followed Yuyu, but seems like Tongo doesn't claim to, which is interesting. Mina and I, who are left behind, search for Mew.
二人とも何キョロキョロしてるの？
What are you two looking around at? Mew, where have you been?
レンマルたちこそ遅すぎだよ。探してたんだからね。私だけついてきたのかと思ってドキドキしちゃった。
You guys are the ones who are too late. I've been looking for you. I was getting nervous thinking I was the only one who had followed them. Well, I was just thinking about
レン
something.
マルくん、いろいろ考えすぎですよ。そんなに慌てていろんなことを考えないで、少しずつこの世界を知っていくことが大事だと思います。
Rimaru-kun, you're overthinking things. Yeah, but he's disagreeing with you. I think it's important to learn about this world little by little and not think about things in such a hurry. I know, but there's no point in rushing. I know there's no point in rushing, but I can't understand the strange world that easily.
得体の知れないものは、なんとなく少しずつ納得していくもの。そしてそれまでは意味嫌われるものだったりします。
Somehow you gradually come to understand something that is unknown. Until then, it may be something you despise. You see, there is hope that one day you will no longer despise thermodynamics.
文化人類学的には、二項対立の構図からはみ出るものをタブーとして扱うことが多いことが知られています。
In cultural anthropology, it is known that things that protrude from the binary opposition are often treated as taboo. What? In cultural anthropology, it is known that things that fall outside of a binary opposition framework are often treated as taboos.
例えば、物と人の中間的存在の主体はタブーだし、
For example, a corpse, which is an intermediate entity between a thing and a person, is taboo. I don't think that's because it's intermediate of a thing and a person. I think it's because it's a health hazard. Yeah, I know you're referring to, like, the uncanny valley, but, like, I don't know if we would consider corpses an uncanny valley. Wait a second. I might disagree with myself there. We wouldn't think of them like, they aren't like what we typically refer to, what we typically mean when we use the term uncanny valley today, right? Like, if I were to use the term uncanny valley, I'd probably be referring to, say, something that's kind of in between a cartoon and photorealism, or like a robot that's kind of human-ish shaped but not perfectly, you know, that kind of thing. But maybe our tendency to not like things that are kind of like almost human but not quite is related to our detest of corpses. But the detesting of corpses is still a practical thing. So, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily know if I would deny, now that I think about it.
知っているものと知らないものの中間的存在の似ているものは嫌われることが多いです。フェイク、偽
Things that fall into the category of similar, neither completely familiar nor completely unfamiliar, are often disliked. They're called fakes or imitations.
じゃあこの世界は？
Then what about this world?
知っている世界と知らない世界の中間的存在。つまり、私たちの世界に似ている世界。
And I've heard some say, like, maybe that's why, maybe it's so that we, it makes us intrinsically afraid of something like, say, a Neanderthal. Where it's kind of like a human, but not quite. But, like, most artistic depictions of Neanderthals, to me, don't really look like they would be scary. Or something, or like disturbing or uncanny or something like that. So I don't know if that would really apply, but maybe like the artistic depictions have a bit of a bias. Oh well. They always draw them like they're like the old Neanderthals. They always look like old men. That's what they always choose. That's where in the life cycle they always choose to draw them. I never seen like a painting of like a Neanderthal child, or like a really young man Neanderthal. And I guess this is because they try to make, in order to make them look ancient, they want to make it sound like they want to draw them like they live in a harsh environment. So then that would make them look old sooner, and so they all kind of look like how us 21st century people would consider an old person to look. I don't know. An intermediate existence between the world we know and the world we don't know. In other words, a world similar to our world.
ほぼ全てが同じもので構成されているのに、何かが違う、引っかかるものがある世界。
A world where almost everything is made up of the same things, but there are things that are different, and that gets stuck. A world where almost everything is composed of the same elements, yet there is something different, something that doesn't quite fit.
少しずつ、その何かが違う、引っかかるものが見えてくれば、
Little by little, you can see that something is different, or something that sticks, or
レンマル
something.
君もこの世界を受け入れられるようになるんじゃないでしょうか。
It's not sticks, it's something that's different, or something that doesn't fit. And Rinmaru-kun will be able to accept this world too. Perhaps Rinmaru will also be able to accept this world eventually. I'll stop thinking for a moment. I'll take a closer look. The slow march continues. Me, Mew, and Mina are continuing to move with Mirage for the time being. Where is the hideout? Yeah, something makes me think this may be a bad idea because they're literally using Rinmaru, Mew, and Mina to like trace Mirage and figure out where they're going. However, they already knew that Mirage was going to be at the radio tower, so they kind of already were tracing them, at least to some degree already. Where exactly is this hideout located? This sounds bad though, this sounds like a trap. Is it near or far? And in my head, the discussion continues on the theme of about this world. Even if you say... Even if you tell yourself you'll try not to think about it for a while, it's not easy for a person to simply forget something. What is this world? What is this discomfort? Why is such a girl the leader of this world's organization? Well, only one of them. Is that possible in the original world? Who is Kiradera? Or what is Kiradera? Will they continue to aim for Mew in this world? Ever since I left the subway station, I've been walking silently.
むへー。かかとが痛くなってきたよ。
Man, my heels are starting to hurt. Mew started to get beaten up. Yeah, this brings up the whole idea of walking when you haven't walked a long distance in a long time, like you couch potato, and then you decide to go hike 11 miles one way. Or 7 miles a day wearing a 40-pound pack. It's like I start walking, it's like, ooh, my feet. Like, I mean, it's different. It's not like they eventually hurt. It's like immediately. It's like, oh, my feet hurt. My, like, left plantar fascia, like holding my arch on my left foot starts to get like sore like immediately. And then my left hip gets sore like immediately. And then a few minutes later it goes away, and then I'm good for the rest of the trip. It's like tries to complain a little bit, and he's like, okay, I can't. And the body's like, I get it. Okay, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And then it stops complaining.
そうね。ミュウちゃんヒールですからね。
That's right, Mew-chan is a heel? What? Oh, she's wearing heels, right? That's right, Mew is a heel character after all. She has like those short heels on.
レンマル、そっちも悪いよの。
Oh! It really means like a heel character, like a villain. It's not talking about the shoes. Renmar, you're quite the wicked one, aren't you? That's the villain. That's a villain. Wrong kind of heel. 1 point. I'll just put it in there just in case.
1点？満点は？
1 point. What's the maximum score? 100 points.
ほとんどギャグセンスなしってことですか？
Does that mean you have virtually no sense of humor? What? I think it's her jokes average about 1.5 points.
それはレンマルのセンスが悪いからじゃないの？
Isn't that because when Mario has bad taste?
それは一理ありますね。
That makes sense. So the joke gets a score of 1 out of 100. I don't know. I would have given that at least a 20 out of 100. Nah.
タで食う虫も好き好きという言葉があります。
There's a saying that insects that eat grass are also picky. But it's okay for them because there's plenty of grass.
人の趣味は千差万別。自分にとって素晴らしいと思うことでも、他の人が素晴らしいと思うとは限らないということです。
We should pass judgment on all the pandas for only eating bamboo. And as far as I know, don't know much about pandas, but as far as I understand, you can correct me in the comments if you actually get this far. They literally only eat bamboo, and they don't eat anything else. And they are in fact bears. I guess there's like some debate whether or not they count as bears or not. They are apparently bears. And that makes it even worse because bears are one of those, like other kinds of bears eat all kinds of different stuff. they're one of the most omnivorous animals. Like, they eat the wide variety, right? It's so weird. Anyway, people's hobbies vary widely, and what you think is great may not necessarily be what others think is great. Amen.
レンマル君は今自分のセンスが他の人のセンスと同じ自信ありますか？
Renmaru-kun, are you confident that your sense of style is the same as that of others? I know mine's very different than that of others. Well, I guess everyone has their own points, but I don't think my taste is particularly different.
ですよね。でも世の中には例えば映画でもホラーが好きな人、恋愛ものが好きな人、アクションが好きな人。
That's right. In this world, for example,
ギャグも同じじゃないですか？
That's right. In this world, for example, there are people who like horror. I haven't really got around to horror. People who like romance. Well, if I could get some of that in real life, that would be nice. However, I don't really like reading romance because I always feel like romance is cooked up in such a way to mess with your head in ways I don't want my head messed with. And I tend to not really want to know what, like, the author thinks about romance because I don't want to know what the author, like, pontificated in the locker room. Anyway, yeah, I like action. I have various hobbies. Isn't it the same with
そう
gags?
だよ。ダジャレ好きもいるはずだよ。
That's right. I'm sure there are people who like puns. I'm saying that the level of the puns is low.
そんなの誰が決めるのさ。
Level of the pun or level of puns in general? Okay, I'm saying the puns are of low quality. So the way that real Google Translate phrases it would make it so that it's unambiguously that they're bad puns, not that puns are bad. Because if I make that a singular and say I'm saying the pun is of low quality, it would mean the same thing. Who decides that? It's me.
そう断言されると返す言葉もないですね。
When you say that, I don't have anything to say in response. Yeah, exactly. That's the point of saying that is, I don't care what you have to say.
レンマルのわからずや。
Renmaru's ignorant. Like, that happens sometimes. Like, you're arguing with someone and they argue you with a really absurd argument. And the idea is not to, like, actually, like, that the argument would work on you. It's that it frustrates you enough that you just give up. You're just like, yeah. We arrived at the plaza in front of the movie theater. Mew stopped and looked up at the movie
どう
sign.
かしました？
What's wrong?
うん、別に。ただ、この映画、前から見たいなと思ってて、今ならタダで見れるんじゃないかと。
Nothing special. It's just I've been wanting to see this movie for a while now. I thought maybe I could watch it for free now. Yeah, you have to know how to work the projector in the movie theater, but if you could get it to work. What are you talking about so casually? This isn't the time to be watching a movie?
わかってるよ。でもさ、今超絶に話題の映画だから、どこの劇場行っても混んでるし。
I know, but it's a super popular movie right now. Right now? Okay? So no matter which theater you go to, it's crowded.
ホラー映画でしたよね、確か。
It was a horror movie, right?
ヴァンパイアムービー。
Yeah, vampire movie. So it's like a horror movie, but the girls would still be into it.
噂によるとサブリミナル効果を使っているとか。
According to rumors, it uses subliminal effects. According to the rumors, they are using subliminal messaging.
サブリミナル？
Subliminal? Wait, so if you it has satanic messages if you play the movie backwards?
色域化刺激のことです。
By the way, that's not a real subliminal message, I think. Like, I don't think you can actually perceive how something would sound backwards. It's sub-threshold stimulation.
域地って言葉知ってますか？
Okay, I think it's time for me to terminate. So, I mean, I don't mean I'm going to die. I mean I'm going to stop recording the gameplay. Okay. Not big. It's been kind of a really bad day, but hopefully tomorrow will be better somehow. Actually, I don't think tomorrow could possibly be worse. I'm okay though. Anyway, it's time to end.